Goodbye, Daddy.
Hey everyone, Steve here and Kim.
How are you doing?
And we are going to listen. After recommendations, we were looking on YouTube on what to scare us and what's the new stuff on Shudder. And one that repeatedly came up, but it did have mixed results, was Daddy's Head. And we saw that last night. We invited our neighbor over and our son-in-law, who's scared of everything like I am. And so we decided to watch it. And
well, it was a toss-up between you. There was one you wanted to watch. You were watching the previews, and you really looked like you were gunning towards watching it.
Yeah.
And I said, no, Daddy's Head. I've been seeing it all over. Right. The trailer looked better, so that's the one we went with.
And so this is our review of it. We'll talk about it, rate it, and then you make your decision on it. So let's just talk about what it was about.
Well, first of all, it is a psychological thriller in the horror genre. 2024 film, and it's about a little boy and his stepmom who are trying to navigate through the death of his father.
Yeah, and of course the little boy draws scary stuff. He's an artist that draws scary stuff, which has no real bearing in the movie, I thought, but yeah.
No, definitely didn't.
So this was directed by Benjamin Barfoot, and he also wrote the whole thing. So he's responsible for all of it. The cast was Julia Brown was Laura, the stepmom. Rupert Turnbull was the young boy mourning his father, and then there were some other folks. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, it was just the original mom got killed. The dad just gets killed. So it's the stepmom and the son grieving and living through haunts, or I don't even know what you would call it.
The grieving process, because it's different for everybody. So I think that was maybe part of his grieving process.
Yeah, and then the relationship, there's like a weird scene where they're hugging in bed, which I get and then I didn't get. They kind of made it seem dirty, but I don't know.
I didn't get that. So it was the stepson and the stepmom. I think it was more like showing that they're comforting each other without knowingly comforting each other. Like just driving the point that they really are there for each other without really understanding that they were.
So did you get any thrills or chills? There was one part where Caleb's jumped right there, where they looked out the window.
Yeah, the dad in his creature state was definitely just
really
creepy. It was creepy looking because you didn't know, like I didn't have any heads up as to like how he was going to appear in the movie.
I mean,
so it just caught me off guard where he appeared at the first time and how he appeared.
They looked, the stepmom looked out the window, right? And it's a big glass window house, and that's what appeared there. I thought the look of him, though, the look of the dad was kind of dumb. It's a guy in a black spandex. The kid drew a creepy picture of what the dad looked like for the psychiatrist. Yeah. I think we forgot to mention, though, that the stepmom is pretty much drunk the entire time and constantly, like every morning, she's passed out on the floor with a bottle of wine next to her. Like literally every single morning she wakes up that way, except for the morning that her and the stepson slept together to comfort each other. But yeah, it was just, I'm trying to think if there was any other jump scare besides there's a part where the creature, or the dad, busts open the vent and he's looking down the tunnel, and he's got like spandex on in his face with a weird smile. Now, his weird smile, when he was alive at the very beginning of the movie, he still looked like a weirdo then too. So, a lot of jump scares, I wouldn't say that. Did you?
No, I would say maybe 3, 4.
Yeah, and nothing that made me...
nothing
that made me jump.
For me, it's more so at the beginning when you didn't realize, like, when
didn't know what to
appeared.
expect.
That after that, you kind of figured every time something creepy happened that you were going to see them at some point. Or him at some point.
I don't know. Let's look at the fright meter and I mean, what are your thoughts on it?
I had high hopes. So
yeah, I did too.
I think it was overrated, overplayed, and I give it a shit review.
Yeah,
On my
yeah.
fright there, I don't think it was creepy. It definitely wasn't scary. Definitely didn't keep me up at night. But I definitely would not watch it again.
Yeah, I could walk to the kitchen without the lights on this one.
That is how his fright meter
Yeah, so
works.
I
Is
also
engaged.
I give it a shit score too. It was just not good, and I'm watching these YouTube reviews of how horrifying it is or how super
I
scary.
did read a bunch this morning after to see, was I like
You miss something?
overthinking it? Did I miss something? But a lot of it goes to my thoughts of there was so many unresolved things that
Yeah,
came up in the movie that you're like, oh, well, could it have it like why is he showing like anger towards the kid or anger towards the mom or whatever
yeah.
it was?
So
There was no resolution there for me.
so let's talk about the best and the worst scenes, if there are any best scenes. I I agree. There were so many things left unresolved, and I actually through the movie started talking like you should have been. This affair should have happened, and it was a revenge thing, but that didn't even materialize. It was just something. I thought the night vision scene was cool. I mean, it's always cool, paranormal activity and that sort of thing, which did not scare me either. Um, that was a cool part. That was the best part.
Yeah. I think her reactions when she really was showing like she was losing her mind, like it was really making her crazy and she couldn't stand being in the house anymore. The
Yeah.
stepmom. I actually thought that was good.
I agree. The acting was not bad at all. The acting was even the little kid.
Yeah, he
I
kind of annoyed me a little bit.
well, so the director, I think writing it and directing it, Benjamin, you missed something. I'm not sure. One of the worst things that was driving me nuts is these close-ups of the eye.
And the rapid eye movements constantly.
Constantly. There must have been 4 or 5 spots in this movie where it concentrated on a close-up of an eye, the boy's eye, either shut or in REM or barely wiggling.
Hers too.
It's weird. Yeah,
Hers too. But I'm tell you, they had some great eyelashes. I don't know if they.
Yeah, there was a lot of
eyelash.
There was no fake eyelashes. They looked real to me.
Yeah, lots of eye movement.
Any other best scene in there? I think the best.
I think his little fort or wherever it was that the
That
dad
was cool.
built was super cool.
There's this scene here where the face just peeks out from that vent.
Yeah, that was kind of creepy.
That was good. The fort is really well done. And it looks like they actually had to build it.
And the crazy thing is there's a drawing of it in the house.
From the little boy's creepy picture thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't think of any other great scenes on it. The acting was good. It got repetitive with the drunk on the floor, but I don't know. So final thoughts on this thing. I would definitely not see it again. I wouldn't recommend anybody see this thing.
No. I tell you, I don't know if it woke me up a lot last night thinking about what was so disturbing about it, what bothered me so much about it. But I know I woke up very often last night just thinking about this movie and other movies. I don't know why.
Not like scared.
No,
though,
not scared.
but like thinking why did they make
do
it?
This and why?
Yeah.
I still don't. I just kept saying it afterwards. Like there was no reasoning behind anything, but maybe that's what we don't know is what.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's videos
grief.
on like what the ending really meant, which is all speculation, unless it's coming from the director, of course. But yeah, there was just nothing. And Cameron, our neighbor, laughed through most of it. Of course, he laughs at everything, but he laughed through most of it. And Caleb, who watched it with us, who's like I said, scared of most
the best
things.
Part of watching a movie.
Yeah, that's the fun part. And that's who we feature in our little scare screens. That's Caleb. But yeah, it wasn't anything great. I don't recommend it. I hope we're going to find something good in the next few days to watch. If you have any suggestions, leave it in the comments and let us know what really, really scares you. And it needs to be on Shudder. That's what we're doing. So everything's on Shudder. Like and subscribe. And we'll see you in a week or so.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks. We'll see you. Bye now.